Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review the new Halloween, directed and written by David Gordon Green, along with written by Danny McBride, of all people, and starring Jamie Lee Curtis back as Laurie Strode, and boy is this a return to form. I absolutely love this film. Going in, I know David Gordon Green has done some really good work. Pineapple Express is a big standout for him, but he was able to tell the story and make it done in an interesting way. And in particular, the editing of this film, of how they transition between scenes, really helps drive this film. This is a very driven story. It's plowing through, and it makes the pacing fantastic because it goes by in a snap, and you're transitioning, and it works well. It's well balanced. There's scenes that really feel unbelievably tense. The finale of this film is fantastic, and there's scenes of really, it's very gory, and it's really funny, and it's really tense and scary, and it balances all of these things so well, and David Gordon Green does an amazing job of that. There's some scenes that feel a little hokey, or the choices that they did in the direction makes it feel a little B-movie-esque, but I think that's what they're trying to go for. But in terms of overall, David Gordon Green does a fantastic job of directing this film and putting this film together. And his writing with Danny McBride and Jeff Fradley, they do a fantastic job of creating a story that balances odes to the original and really paying respect to that original film, and then subverting things and really creating something unexpected. And there's a lot of things that are very unexpected in this film that I didn't see coming, and really kept me on the edge of my seat. And that's something really important for this film to work, because you didn't want this to feel just like a rehash of the original. There's so many fantastic lines or shots that call back to previous films to set up this kind of feeling and completely subverts it. There's one in particular towards the end of this film that is such an amazing callback to the original that works so well. And in terms of just how the story is fleshed out and where it goes, really is engaging and interesting, and really takes into themes of, subverts that idea of the trope of this woman. It's this one girl, somehow she gets away and stuff like that, but this really captures that family element and those torn relationships and trying to bring them back together. And because there's 3 generations of Strodes in this film trying to come together and really stop this, and it's fascinating seeing these relationships and seeing where these characters have progressed from the original, in terms of especially Laurie Strode and what that experience has done to her, and deals with that in such a clever way. The dialogue, there is some of the funniest things I've ever heard in a horror movie in this film, and I can imagine Danny McBride has a lot to do with that. It's really clever and funny, but there are some moments where it's just straight stupid. There are some really dumb lines, but a lot of comedies are hit or miss. There's going to be some jokes that don't land. This has them. It has some lines that don't really work the greatest. And there's one particular character I don't know how to feel about him. It's Judy Greer's husband, and some of his lines, I can't help if I'm laughing because it's funny, or it's so ridiculous I can't believe they even put that in a movie, kind of thing. And in terms of the characters, there's some really fleshed out, the Strode women in this film, and really what they try to capture about the Shape, Michael Myers. And they're the standouts. A lot of the other characters don't have a whole lot of depth to them. They're kind of just there. They're set up nice enough to create some payoffs or some cannon fodder, to be perfectly honest. And there's some very interesting choices done with some of the characters that I'm not quite sure if it really worked, but I appreciated the unexpected twist of where it was going. And this has some twists and turns, and they're really well done. And the music. Cody Carpenter and Daniel A. Davies work with John Carpenter to create the score of this film, and it's pitch perfect to matching the original, creating some original themes and score, and it really, really works and captures the atmosphere of this film and really makes it feel like a continuation of that original story. And the music really puts you on edge. And Michael Simmons, who's the DP, there's a couple of shots, like how they shoot like hand to hand combat kind of thing, is really choppily edited, and I'm not the hugest fan of how they did that. But in terms of the building of tension, long shots, there's that long shot, that long take from the trailer is amazing in the film, as you can imagine, and really, really worked for me so well. Jamie Lee Curtis was amazing in this film. She was a powerhouse. And the original actor, Nick Castle, I believe, and another actor bringing Michael Myers to life really worked. He's physically intimidating. He is frightening. And his presence is really felt. Judy Greer does a great job as Laurie Strode's daughter, and they have such an interesting relationship. Andy Matichak does a nice job in the role that she's given as like this teenage girl dealing with the situation, and I feel like she did Jamie Lee Curtis proud from the original film. And then Will Patton, who plays Hawkins, one of the cops, he's intense. He has what he has to do. And Hulk Bilginer, who plays Dr. Sartain, who basically is the new Loomis. And they even make a comment about that. But he has a very unexpected, on-edge performance, and I can really appreciate it. Overall, this has some flaws. It does. It's not a perfect film, but I absolutely loved it. If you enjoy horror, this is something you need to go out and see, along with all the other people that made this make $77.5 million this weekend, including me. And I loved it. Go check this out, and always, as always, support your Wasteland reviewer.